fans of Let's Talk Chicago Bears. How are you doing today? I thought, you know what? I've had so many people. Um, I had such nice responses when I came back last week from you guys, my bear buddies. I'm not gonna call you fans because in that, and I don't like calling you subscribers either. So you're my bears buddies, and you guys were also happy to see me back, even though I don't even have my stage. It's all broken down. It's just about ready for Let's Talk Chicago White Sox. Such a creative title, don't you think? So I thought I'd come back, talk a little bit about what happened in the last week. A few things have happened. The Bears have been done some signings. They came out with the full draft information and stuff like that. So I thought I would at least, you know what? You guys just rock. And so you make me feel so good. So I'm just like, okay, then I got to do some more shows, right? So I did have one hater who made some comments to one of my regulars, to me and my regulars. One of my regulars, he said something like, "We're a bunch of stupid idiots." And I basically told him, "Yeah, well, we don't talk like that on this website, on this show. So bye-bye and get lost, because this is more for to have fun, talk about our bears, good, bad, whatever, right? So we don't want no negativity." So I told that idiot bye-bye. So I'm back. It's the end of March. I know there's a lot of March Madness going on. One thing I don't get into is basketball. It's probably because I'm so short. I never liked basketball. So pretty sure that had something to do with it. But let's talk the draft, okay? So the Bears came out. So the Bears have 8 picks this year in the draft. It's not as good as it sounds though. So they do have a number 1 and they pick number 20th overall. Then they do have a pick in the second round and they pick 52 in the second round. In the third round, they pick number 80 at 83. They do not have any picks in the fourth round, which kind of sucks. They do have a pick in the fifth round, which is at 164. That's the pick. And then they have 4 6-rounders. And they got the 6 ones from the Dolphins. Because I'm not really sure where that one comes. So it had to do with some kind of trade. If we ever did a trade with them, it's probably from the trades. And then we got some complimentary picks. I guess those go out every year sometimes. If somebody breaks the rules or they lose their picks, other teams get them. And oh, okay. So yeah, so we got a couple extra picks for that reason. That's why they're in the 6th round. But they did say that, let's see, 1, 2, and 5, and 6 will be, okay. So the 1 round, the first pick, the second pick, the 5th pick, and the first 6th pick will all be done, will be chose in the 19th. And you probably don't know what that means. Okay, let's take that back. Forget about it. What I just said. So basically, the Bears got one of their picks because the Patriots were stripped of their 3rd round pick for videotaping the Buccaneers sideline during a game against the Browns. So I don't know how the Bears came up with it, but they in the 3rd round, that pick came because the Patriots were stripped of their picks. So I'm not really sure. There must be a list where every year when, like I said, we got some extra picks in the 6th round because other teams were stripped of picks. So hey, we'll take it. So we have 8 picks. Now, I talked about last week that we're talking about getting a quarterback, and the thing about the quarterback is okay. So the Bears, okay, we all know what they were going to give up for Russell Wilson, which was just way too much for a 32-year-old guy on the other side of his career, who I believe is a little beat up. He's running out of gas. The guy's been running all over the field, what, for 10 years, so you can only take so much. So, you know, I would love more than anything for the Bears to get not Mac Jones, um, Zach Wilson of BYU, but he's probably going to go in the top, you know, 5 picks. I'm almost sure of that. He's not going to be. And the Bears would have to probably give up at least 2 first-round picks. Now, if that's all they had to give up, and then maybe some later round picks, and we could spread them out over the next couple of years, I would go up and get Zach Wilson from BYU because this guy's good. But he's probably going to go to the Jets because the first guy, Trevor Lawrence, is going to go to the Jags, and then the next pick is the Jets. And we know they've had a lot of problems with their quarterback situation. But that's another quarterback that I think that he could be better, the Jets quarterback, than he is, and his name eludes me right now. Again, pickled brain. Pickled brain and been locked up for a year in my house, okay? Good Lord. So, so then, we know we're not going to get him. So, I would like to, then there's the other chance is we could move up and try to get Mac Jones, who went to Alabama. So, but I believe, and there's the rumors that New England wants Mac Jones, and they pick at 15. And we pick a 20. So if he's still left, which I don't know, it's kind of like he might be, he might not be. You know what? You can never, you can't even listen to the draft predictions now because they change a million times from now until April 29th. I mean, I don't even look at them. I said to my son, it's not worth it because they're constantly changing. So, and the thing about Bill Belichick, what he wants, he gets. We all know that. He's a cheater. And he's got influence. So he's a jerk. So he's going to get what he wants. Now, we'll have to see. I don't know. I would like that. I mean, my wish list, obviously, the guy from BYU, Zach Williams. And then the next one would be Mac Jones of Alabama. And then the rumors have it that Trey Lawrence, he's out of North Dakota. That's another pick. That's another rumor that the Bears are going after him. But people are saying that the Chargers, the Chargers might go after him, which I don't think so, because I think they found their quarterback last year, and I think they're good, and they picked 13th. So if he's still available, the Bears might move up to that. It really depends. But the thing about Trey Lawrence is he kind of reminds me a little bit of Mitchell. I've not seen him play, but he's only played 2 years in college. They say he's got a great arm. He hits his targets. He doesn't overthrow people, which Mitchell, that's a bit of a problem. But Mitchell's biggest problem was reading defenses and stuff like that. So I don't know about this guy. It worries me a little bit that, but they say with experience, he could make the next step if he could watch and learn. So if we did go get Trey Lawrence moved up, because I mean, if he was available at 20, the Bears would probably take him. But whether he is or not, I don't know. With quarterbacks, you just don't know when they're going to be taken. I mean, shit. Look at Tom Brady. He was taken in the very last round of many, many years ago, 20-something years ago of the draft, the last round. Round 6, he was one of the last picks. And now look at him, He's won 5,000 Super Bowls. So you just never know, but I don't know. So we're going to have to see what the Bears do because we talked about their needs. They need offensive linemen. They needed another linebacker, which we're going to talk about in a minute. They need another cornerback because Fuller's no longer there, and they need some more defense. I mean, we need linebackers now. I mean, offensive linemen, big time. So I'm just not sure, but for instance, if we did get Trey Lawrence with Andy Dalton, he could learn from him and sit on the bench if Andy stays healthy. And then the rumors are that the Bears are trying to trade Foles back to Philadelphia. God, I hope so, because then they can get rid of his bullshit salary that's hitting the cap, which she should never have been given, like Lennon a few years ago. That was a frickin' joke. Another one of Pace's great moves. So, if we can get rid of him, then, I don't know. I mean, then there's always the Bears go for if Trace Lawrence, they take the chance and they try to get him in the second round and they go for an offensive lineman in the first round because there's some really premier offensive linemen out there, and several of them, they said, you can pluck them in right now and they could play. And that's absolutely what the Bears need, right? They really do. So, okay, let's talk about the moves the Bears have made. So, first of all, we all know that Fuller went to Denver. He signed a 1-year deal to go to Denver to be back with Vic Fangio. That'll probably be a nice fit. Mitchell's with the Bills for a 1-year deal. Have you noticed all the 1-year deals this year? I've never seen so many, but it's because of the salary caps. Everybody's hurting. So next year, this time, it's going to be all over again. We're going to be going through this and signing people again because they're all 1-year deals. But good thing, I heard, I think it was Brad Biggs back there in Illinois. He said that the Bears now want to keep Akeem Hicks. Yes, because once they got rid of Fuller, they realized they could still afford him. And we do need him. I know he's 32. But I believe that guy's got a lot of gas in his tank, and he's just an influence with the team. When he's in, the team is just good. You can just look at the games when he's not in and when he's in, and especially against the run. So I'm real happy to see one of my favorite players is coming back. Okay, so the Bears did sign several linebackers over the last week. They signed a linebacker, Christian Jones, and interesting enough, he had been with the Bears before. He was with the Bears from 2014 to 2017, and then he went to the Lions, and now he's back with the Bears. So we'll see. Then we got a Jeremiah, no idea how to pronounce his last name because you know how terrible I'm at this, but I'll spell it. It's Attauchu. And he has been playing since 2014. He was picked in the second round by the Chargers. Then he went to the Broncos and the Jets. So, linebacker. And then we've got another linebacker, Angelo Blackson. He was a fourth rounder, and he came to the NFL in 2015, and he has played for Tennessee, the Texans, and Arizona. So, and these guys are all in their 20s. So that's a good thing. They're not signing anybody over 30, which they shouldn't be. So we do need to see maybe one of these three, or it depends on what happens in the draft in those later rounds when we have those 4-6 rounders. You might pick up a linebacker, but as I told you, we have to get a third linebacker because Roquan Smith is the star. Danny Trevathan is getting old, and I mean he was slipping last year, so I don't know what it's going to be like this year. We may have to replace 2 linebackers, so it's important. We also signed a cornerback. Trufant is his last name, Desmond Trufant, and he was drafted in the first round when he was drafted back in 2013. He was drafted, he was number 22nd in the overall first round, and he played for the Falcons from 2013 to 2019, and then he joined the Lions in 2020. So must have been just a 1-year deal. So now he's coming over, and we'll see maybe if he can fill the spot for Fuller. Who knows? I'm sure that's going to the cornerback position is going to be addressed in the draft. It should be. So maybe this guy can just fill it for a while. We don't know because Fuller was a good one. It just sucks that money caused the guy to have to leave. It really does. I hate that part of football. Do it. I just do. Then we signed an old lineman, Eli Wickerson, and he was He was with the Broncos for the last 4 years, and he has played both right guard and then right tackle. So he's interchangeable, which is a good thing. And they say he's a pretty solid guy. Although my son said he heard they say he's not. So I don't know. I read it. His stats look good, but we got to build him up. You know what? If he's not good enough, they'll release him. I mean, these guys have all been signed to 1 year deals. There's not any long term deals here. And then yesterday they signed a running back, Damon Williams. And he played for Kansas City in 2019, but he did not play last year in 2020. He opted out due to the corona bullshit. They say he's a very solid running back and he can catch as well, which is real important. You want your running backs. And we do need another running back. Of course, we have Montgomery and we have Tariq behind him, but Tariq, I like him, but he's more of a gadget, gimmicky guy because he's so small and he gets hurt. So we definitely needed to work on the running back situation because I don't know if we're going to try to get a one in the late rounds. We might try to do that too at number 6 with the 4 number 6s, right? So these are the guys that the Bears went ahead and signed this past week. So they've definitely been making definitely have been making moves, trying to get people in to see if they can fill some spots right before the draft. So and I gotta tell you, I've listened to some things. Andy Dalton on the his news conferences, the press conferences. I'm gonna wait and make my judgment on Andy Dalton. I'm not gonna say we made a huge mistake there. It was a 1 year deal. They didn't sign him for a shit ton of money. Although he got more than Mitchell did. But let's see. We just don't know. He's not a bad quarterback, you guys. It's just he was with Cincinnati. They never had really good teams around him, but he put numbers up. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's the one thing. And again, do not compare him to when he was on Dallas last year because that was a clusterfuck team. They were just in disarray. I don't know if Mike McCarthy has lost it or what, but wow, they were a mess. We thought the Bears had problems. You look at Dallas. Woo! So we'll see, right? So I'm going to kind of give Andy Dalton the benefit of the doubt until he proves me wrong. And you know what? We may be sitting in next fall and we may be like, what is this redhead guy doing? The redhead quarterback can throw. I'm just saying. And that's the other thing is we really need to get some more wide receivers. So I'm hoping they're going to do that maybe too. So we got 8 picks. So we've got some wiggle room here. So let's see what happens. Again, the draft starts April 29th. It's in Cleveland. And next year, it's in Vegas, baby. Rock and roll. You know where I'm going to be that first day of the draft next year. I'm going to be in down there on the Strip because I know last year they had such cool stuff set up for this draft. And obviously we couldn't have it. So they're going to do it again. Trust me, it'll be fun here in Vegas. So that's it. You know what? And again, I love my fans. If anything major happens from now until the draft, I'll come back on. I don't see too much more activity happening out there. So I think the Bears are going to probably be quiet until the draft now. So I won't be back on. And I'm definitely going to be out of circulation for a week in 2 weeks because my son, my only kid, is getting married. And I am damn excited. Party in Vegas, baby, because there's going to be a wedding. So, yeah, so I'm really excited. So, again, as always, I love you guys, my Bears buddies. Keep on watching. Look out for me. And, I'll be back as always. I love you guys. Really, you guys rock. It is great doing this for you. And again, as I always say at the end of the show, love one another. Let's take care of each other because all we got in this country is each other. And it's still a mess with these mass shootings and stuff. So come on, man. Why can't we all just get along? I don't get it. So, but you know how I feel. Get your vaccines. and let's get this country running back again. And it will return. I've heard some youngsters worried, the ones who are coming out of college and the ones in college. Is life ever going to be the same? Are we going to find a job? Is it going to go back to normal? It might not be quite the normal we know, but I think we're going to get pretty darn close. It's just going to take some time, longer than we thought. But the more people that get vaccinated, the better this will be. So that's all I'm saying. And as always, I love you guys and keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. I'll see you guys next time. Am I still